What is up, guys? Happy Saturday. It is the 25th of April. We made it through another week in lockdown, and I'm so happy to have all of you here. We've got some topics to talk about this week. Some of the top 10 biggest news topics in Hollywood and for movie news. Although I do have to give you a heads up. We've only got 8 topics this week. So as you know, guys, I try to keep it, as far away from COVID headline topics as possible. And my God, this week we had just a trickling a little bit of news upon us. So we're gonna cut it down to 8 this week, but we do have a new viewer letter. We're gonna read about the midway point here, probably after the 3rd or 4th topic. It's a viewer letter. I haven't read it yet. I made the graphic for it, so I'm excited to have it on screen. I'm excited for you guys to have your letters on screen here as well. And you know what? While we're talking about this, let's give you a fresh little reminder. If you guys want to send me your viewer letter, you can do so by sending me a letter to dj@moviepop.org. And of course, also you can submit your topic of the week request. No letter, no sexy paragraphs required. Just send me a headline in the subject saying, hey, here's my topic of the week. Or in the body of the email, you can say, hey, DJ, check this out. I think this article is pretty freaking cool, bro. You should read it on screen, man. And I will be happy to do so. So, guys, we haven't had that yet. No topics of the week suggestions, except, of course, from Storm Shadow, one of our viewers here on the channel. He's been doing that via Instagram. However, online via email would be best. But yeah, that's what's happening there, guys. So just to remind you here, how does the format on this show work? Well, we're going to cover the top 10 topics for the week. I'm going to answer questions and comments live on air as they happen in the chat. You can do so by hitting me up, by highlighting my name so I can see it on screen. A little @MoviePOP before you type your message. I'll read it after I read the articles on screen. And yeah, we'll go through the show like that. So glad to have Mr. Paul in Long Beach here. Thank you so much for being here, bro. We've got some topics to talk about. I'm hoping you're ready. It seems like you're ready. We've got Digital Nomad Sage in the house. Happy Saturday, brother. And of course, the one, the only, damn it, Gary, Mr. G Wolf 333 himself. So guys, yeah, let's get this bad boy started off. I don't want to go into overtime again. I think we went 2 hours last weekend. That was freaking awesome. I enjoyed it. It was great. So, I mean, who knows? We might go into overtime today too. But yeah, let's start off with the topics for the week here. And as you can see on screen, boom, I got it ready. HBO Max orders The Shining offshoot Overlook. Sounds great, but J.J. Abrams is attached as a producer or executive producer through his company Bad Robot. Now, he's also going to be doing a couple more series for the new streaming service from HBO Max, titled Duster and, of course, Justice League Dark. So, this is all coming to us from Bad Robot. If you haven't heard the news yet, this is coming from Deadline. HBO Max has greenlighted 3 drama series from J.J. Abrams and Katie McGrath's Bad Robots Productions. Overlook. Wow. I can't believe I'm reading this. Okay. Overlook, inspired by Stephen King's The Shining. Duster, conceived by Abrams and a DC Justice League Dark show. Now, these are Bad Robot's first projects for HBO Max. I'm going to kind of give you the headlines here. Some of the highlighted points in the article I think are definitely worth your attention. So let's get to it right now. The horror thriller Overlook is inspired by and featuring iconic characters. That's a big point to mention from King's The Shining. It explores the untold, terrifying stories of the most famous haunted hotel in American fiction. The project reunites Bad Robot, King, that's Stephen King, and WB-TV, who previously collaborated on the psychological horror series Castle Rock, which had a 2-season run on Hulu. The first season I did see. I thought it was fantastic storytelling, fantastic cinematography, acting, screenwriting, all of it, top notch, right? Have you guys seen season 2, by the way, of Castle Rock? I did not even know season 2 was on Hulu yet. So, actually, I did know, because I knew Tim Robbins was in that. So, a nice little callback to the Shawshank Redemption. Let's see here. All right, so that covers The Shining. That's like the big headline for me. But for all you comic book nerds out there who really love DC, guess what? Justice League Dark is a branch of the Justice League, obviously you knew this, dedicated to dealing with the mystical and supernatural threats. First appearing in the September 2011 issue of Justice League Dark #1, it has featured characters mostly occult and offbeat, including John Constantine. Holy crap! You guys think we're gonna get a little bit more Keanu happening here? That would be freaking amazing. I think if Keanu Reeves came back as John Constantine in this Justice League Dark series for HBO Max, yeah, star power behind the camera and in front of the camera. Holy crap! I would love to see that. What are your thoughts, guys? We got a couple quotes here I want to mention here. What an amazing start to our association with the wildly imaginative Bad Robot team under JJ and Katie, said Kevin Riley, who is the Chief Content Officer of HBO Max and President of TNT, TBS, and True TV. So, wow. This is a really cool breaking news article coming to us from Deadline. Really excited to know that. At least, you know, we're going to get... I'm kind of mixed feelings about this. So, The Shining, of course, seminal, like, awesome filmmaking from Stanley Kubrick. Recently reinvigorated by Dr. Sleep, directed by Mike Flanagan. We knew we had some TV movies or one TV film of The Shining that came out like in the 90s, right? On like Lifetime television or something. Not too great. But I think there is a resurgence here for like awesome film properties or novel properties that can be adapted for the film. Now, Bad Robot, guys, if you follow Star Trek lore, we know Bad Robot, a lot can be said about them with regards to how they rebooted Star Trek franchises. But you know what? I mean, hey, Abrams and Bad Robot also brought us Lost and Alias. So as far as TV production goes, it's kind of a mixed bag, right? You can judge them based off the merits of their TV productions or the merits of their film productions. Of course, I think the film production is kind of hit or miss. Hopefully we've learned from the past, and J.J. Abrams, through Bad Robot, can really deliver something of quality on par with Doctor Strange, Doctor Sleep, and The Shining for their Offshoot, the Overlook series on HBO Max. And of course with Justice League Dark. That's another mixed bag too, right? Because DC didn't do too well with a Justice League movie, right? In my opinion. Nah, I don't know. I'm excited about it either way. It's always great to hear some brand new news coming out in the headlines here, guys. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And of course, in the live chat over yonder by highlighting my name at MoviePOP. I'll read it on screen. So without further ado, guys, let's see what's happening in the chat. Guys, give us a fantastic round of applause for our content producer, Tiffany. She's here in the live chat. She's helping moderate. She's helped set up this whole thing here. So thank you so much to you, Tiffany, for doing all you can. All right, guys. So Paul in Long Beach says, I'm confused. Can we now call the insane clown posse the rational clown posse? Oh, boy. Well, you know what? It depends, Paul. I think whether or not ICP is still making Fago, the soft drink, Fago. Yeah, if they're still making Fago and people are drinking it, and somebody thinks it's good enough to produce and make, I think they should be considered insane still. Now, if they discontinue that line of beverages, then yeah, probably more of the rational clown posse, as you say, dude. Alrighty. Let's see what else we got up in here. Mr. G. Wolf says, most of my life, The Shining was just a cool movie and A-OK miniseries. Yeah, definitely A-OK. Now it's a universe, and it still seems strange to me. Interesting. I'm curious why it seems strange to you. I mean, I get it, right? Because probably most of your life, it was just like this cool tentpole film, art house film that existed in its own bubble, perhaps. and now studios realize the potential of the property. They're trying to grab it. They're trying to branch off from it. So yeah, I could imagine how that's a bit jarring. What would the equivalent be for me? Something that I grew up with for most of my life that remained as one solitary thing and then branched off into several other offshoots like 20 or 30 years later. Barney. You guys remember Barney? Hey, I love you. You love me. Yeah, that's firmly rooted in my childhood, like 1993. So it would be weird for me to see, like, here in 2020, a Barney movie, a Barney prequel story about how he came off the streets from smoking meth, and now Barney is reformed. He's a child-loving dinosaur who wants to spread joy and happiness into the world, and we're going to get, like, multiple IPs off that. Yeah, that would be a little jarring, I would imagine, so... And yeah, G Wolf does confirm, yeah, for 30 years it was a standalone movie. Jeez. Yeah, basically my whole life here, dude, so I could imagine. Cool perspective, bro. Thanks for sharing. I, for one, I mean, The Shining for me is one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time, so I'm glad to see that we're getting some offshoots like Dr. Sleep, this Overlook series. Hopefully it does have some of the same quality and ties to the original Stanley Kubrick film. So yeah, let's move into the second topic, and then we're gonna have our third topic, and then we're gonna do our viewer letters. So second topic, let's go. Right meow. And this is coming to us from IndieWire. Ooh, yes. And guys, big news for me. Hopefully you guys share the enthusiasm as well. On the Rocks is a new film produced, directed, and written by Sofia Coppola. That is the daughter of Francis Ford Coppola, if you haven't caught on from the name. Sofia Coppola unveils new details about her big Bill Murray reunion. So, yes, all right. On the Rocks is likely one of the year's most anticipated films for many indie movie lovers, as it marks the long-awaited reunion between Lost in Translation, Oscar winner Sofia Coppola, and actor Bill Murray for this project. While the two worked together on the 2015 Netflix special, A Very Murray Christmas, the upcoming comedy drama On the Rocks will be their first theatrical release together in the 17 years since Lost in Translation was released. Wow, 17 years, holy crap. That is also one of my top 10 films of all time. What about you? Now, Lost in Translation, which won Coppola the Academy Award for Best Original Screenplay and nabbed nominations for Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Actor for Murray, specifically. So, cool little bit of news here. We've got a quote. This is Bill Murray and Rashida Jones. Yes, they play father and daughter, and she's married to Marlon Wayans. What? Marlon Wayans making a comeback. All right. Marlon Wayans, a successful businessman who is traveling a lot and has a beautiful assistant, Coppola said. Rashida's character has suspicions. The dad, who's kind of a sophisticated playboy, gets her paranoid because he's seeing men through his point of view. It's sort of the clash between the two generations, and her being a young woman, and he's a gentleman of another generation. It's kind of a clash of how they look at relationships, and also how your relationship with your parent affects your relationships in your life. We finished a little while ago. It's the two of them as a father and daughter, sort of on a little adventure to spy on her husband. It's a lot of them talking about life and men and women over martinis in New York. Cool. I think that last quote there really solidified what this film is going to be about, right? It seems like it's going to be a dreamy cityscape film that's, focused on the dialogue, focused on character relations, within the context of a kind of a wacky storyline here with the father-daughter kind of spying on the daughter's husband. If anybody can do it, I think Sofia Coppola and Bill Murray are two juggernauts in their own, so I'm excited to see them come back together for this project, especially considering they did so well with Lost in Translation, which debuted 17 years ago. Good God, can you imagine that, guys? So that was what, 2003? Yeah, wow. All right, looking forward to it, guys. But the real question here is, what are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments and, of course, in the live chat over yonder. So let's head over there without further ado. Paul in Long Beach says, this sounds awesome, dude. Yes, I am so with you, man. Anything involving Murray, you know I've got a flaming red rocket for, so really excited to see that, man. All right, guys, third topic here. Let's get it going. And this one, of course, is going to be coming to us from Variety. For all you Black Mirror fans, well, guess what? We don't have another season of Black Mirror coming up, but the closest thing to it is coming to us from Black Mirror series creator Charlie Brooker, in which Variety entitles, he is readying an antiviral wipe, quote, name of the series, isolation special for the BBC. Sweet. Black Mirror creator Charlie Brooker is making a half-an-hour isolation special of his wipe review series for the BBC, with the working title of Charlie Brooker's Antiviral Wipe. Last year, Brooker said he was too busy working on the Netflix series Black Mirror to focus on wipe, but the lockdown has clearly freed up some of his time. The BBC said Brooker will be taking a typically sharp look at life in lockdown in a show made during the lockdown. Now, the program will air on channel BBC 2, and will feature coverage of the crisis itself. Brooker will also be looking at things people are watching and doing to keep themselves occupied. So a lot of fluff here in the article. That is kind of like the meat and potatoes of it. So, guys, I'm going to be honest with you, as I always am. I'm not going to pretend like I know about something I'm not aware of. I had no idea Charlie Brooker was doing a wipe series or antiviral wipe series on BBC. So I'm curious to see more about his content, because I think him as a writer, as a producer, has a lot of thoughts and opinions on certain things. And to see him branch out from Black Mirror, I'd like to see what that's all about. So here we are with the news, antiviral wipe, focused on this crazy time we're all living in together. That will be premiering on BBC 2. I don't think the date was disclosed here. Is it here? Let's see. The pilot was watched. Nope, that is not it. Pretty sure. Yeah. No, I don't think they mentioned when it will be premiering, but it is in production. So keep your eyes open and glued on the web for that. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I love Black Mirror. I think we all love Black Mirror. That's worldwide, considering it was originally broadcast on the BBC and then distributed by Netflix internationally. So I think the whole world is in agreement. Black Mirror is the new Twilight Zone. So what are your guys' thoughts on this, Charlie Brooker's new series? Let me know in the comments and also in the live chat over yonder. All right, so Mr. G Wolf says, that will take our mind off what's going on. I hope so, man. But you know what? It is an isolation special, so it's kind of like having your foot in one door and one outside the door as well, right? Either way, content is content, entertainment is entertainment. So anything that keep us away from the drudgery that is our everyday lives is good. Mr. Paul in Long Beach says, hydroxychloroquine 2, Lysol, Boogaloo. Dude, wow. How can I address that without being political? What an idiot. Yeah. Okay, so the hydroxychloroquine thing, valid opinion, honestly. It's part of the regimen of therapy. Hydroxychloroquine, azithromycin, some other anti-malarials as far as like the regimen goes, with what at least the hospitals I've worked in are establishing as routine therapy. But Lysol, disinfectant, injecting it or considering it anyways, duly noted, dude. Lysol Boogaloo, indeed. Hydroxychloroquine 2. Watch out for that feature-length film directed by Paul in Long Beach. Coming soon. G Wolf says, I'm sure the Corona zombie movies are being written now, dude. World War Z 2, right? Yeah, they could totally branch off of the current situation right now. That would be interesting. I'm sure it might be being written as well. We'll see. All right, guys, I want to move into our viewer letter. This is coming to a gentleman from the United States. All right, we got somebody stateside here, guys. So if you could please turn your attention to the screen right now, and let's see one of our viewer letters from Mr. Mark London. Ooh, that is a sexy ass name, Mr. Mark London. All right, Mark London from the United States says here, it's really sad to hear about AMC and how they've had to issue $500 million in debt to stay liquid. Now, as a kid, I really enjoyed going to movie theaters the last few times I went out with my family. With the rise in personal consumer technology, I've noticed how something niche like VR may be more commonplace. I've seen arcades die out in the United States due to American families transitioning to home consoles. With the stay-at-home economy in full force, I feel for movie theaters right now. Their revenues depended much on concessions, ads, etc. There may be a day where instead of physically going to a theater, we may instead don headsets for that, quote, movie theater feel, unquote, in the mainstream. Wow. Wouldn't that be something, huh? Now, he does continue to say, it's niche right now, but it's possible it may be commonplace in the future once the deficiencies in VR, virtual reality, are ironed out. What's your take on the issue, MoviePOP? Should we still keep the custom of gathering in movie theaters once this pandemic is over? Or should we upgrade to the VR lifestyle to enjoy movies from the comfort of our own home? Hearing you talk about Marvel movies being streamed straight to Disney Plus got me thinking about it. Thanks. All right. Wow, dude, that's a pretty deep freaking question, man. That's going to go outside the purview of my quote-unquote professional opinion here on YouTube as a YouTube pundit. And that's going to firmly route us here into the technology space. So, yeah, you know what? Good question, bro. What is my thoughts on that specifically? I think, honestly, off the bat, man, just for me personally, I think until VR or augmented reality, but more specifically to your question, VR, until VR like perfectly replicates what our everyday experience is as human beings, you know, tactile sensation, being able to smell things, walk around in three-dimensional space, until that like parallels reality. Until VR parallels reality, like one for one, I think going to theaters, in real life, with your baby, or your mama, or your daddy, or your brother, or your sister, or your mother, or anybody else, and sharing that experience, in an auditorium of whether it's 30 or 300 people, on a large format screen with that bombastic sound, a Dolby Digital experience can only give you. Until that can be rivaled digitally, virtually, on set, I don't think that will be I don't think VR will be able to replace that experience until that happens. But, of course, I think, I'm sure you, like me, enjoy watching film streaming from the convenience of your home. Probably a majority of the time. And then, once in a while, when you want to see that big tentpole film, or you just want to go out and get that theater experience, you go out and do that. And the two live in harmony with each other. So I think for the time being, the two will remain in harmony with each other. They both have their benefits. But I don't think VR will replace that experience for some time now anyways. What are we, like 20, 30 years in the horizon? We know Elon Musk is going to get the whole brain-machine interface through Neuralink happening. So, yeah, it could be in our future, man. But, yeah, I want to make sure I answered both of your questions here, dude. You asked me about that. And then also, yeah, I think that was it. So, okay, cool. That's my take on the issue. Thank you so much, Mark, for writing in, bro. Really appreciate it. Guys, we're going to go into our next topic, but We got Mr. Brian Hepburn here. I see him highlighting my name, so I'm going to go, boom, back on screen. Brian, thank you so much for joining the chat here, man. Brian does have to say to you guys and to me here, I think they should keep reinventing, I think they should keep renovating with the, you know what, I'm going to make this larger because apparently I'm going blind at my 33 years of age here. Brian Hepburn says, I think they should keep renovating with the sofa recliner lounge style seating so you're not sitting crammed in all on top of each other. Less seats available, but that may drive up demand. Interesting, Brian. Yeah, so, dude, are you talking about AMC? Because, you know, AMC has two, I think they have three types of leather recliner seating. So you have the Dolby Digital Theater, that does not recline as much as the AMC signature recliners, which recline a pretty good deal, and which are my favorite. Actually, now they don't rumble and vibrate like the Dolby Digital, but in terms of reclining and the feet that stick out, great. And then of course they have the AMC Dine-In, which I think is basically the same thing, but it has this weird attachment that's just, it kind of gets in the way, man. So I just want to know if you're talking about AMC, should they improve upon those reclining seats there, Brian? I think, you know what, dude, that's really interesting. Sorry, did I say there were three? There's actually four. The best that I've seen, Brian, AMC City Walk, the Universal Cinemas at Universal Studios, of course, or Universal City Walk. Dude, exactly as you described it. I think each auditorium, 40, 50 seats. And dude, I'm talking, those bad boys recline all the way, basically. And your feet are all the way up. You're basically laying like in a mini bed. And yeah, small auditorium, but like super like wide space. Even like, you know when you recline up with your feet and then people try to walk in front of you, you know, you have to do that weird thing like, oh, let me lower it down or let me adjust my feet away. Like, it's really annoying, right? No, not here. Like, there's such a wide berth of space. You can be fully reclined back, feet up, and then people still have like a good probably 3 feet of space in front of you to walk past you. So you're totally in comfort, like while you're watching the ads, eating your concessions before the film even starts. I think that is exactly what you're talking about, Brian. So yeah, AMC has done that. But I've only seen it at the AMC City Walk. And then I believe it was AMC Fullerton. They have that type of seating as well. So, all right, let's see what we got here. Mr. G Wolf says, AMC said they ain't going to reopen until Tenet and Mulan are released. Ooh, you mother fudger! I had that coming up in one of the news articles here. So, yeah, G Wolf, you are correct on that. He says, so it's going to be a while before they're back. Ooh, all right, G Wolf, I'm going to address that actually specifically. Your whole point there, also the facts you mentioned there, specifically in the broadcast. So, yeah, good on you, man. All right, Brian does continue. He says, yes, get rid of the old stadium-style seating. And, yeah, you have at least 3 feet between each other and more. Dude, totally right on with you, dude. I agree. I think stadium-style has its benefits, considering if you're going to fill out the whole auditorium. But you know what? It's really dumb because, for the most part, and correct me if I'm wrong, even when nobody wants those, like, what's the opposite of a nosebleed? Like, I've been at the top of a Dolby Digital. It's not the same as in the middle. And being in the front of a Dolby Digital, and this applies to any other, like, auditorium as well. The front, the very back, they suck. And most times they're not even filled up. So why even have that kind of seating arrangement if most people aren't going to occupy it? With the exception for, like, you know, Avengers Endgame. Yeah, I had those nosebleed front seats where I'm like looking up at my neck, you know, halfway in between my back. Not ideal experience. So, yeah, good point, man. I think by and large, I agree with you. Whether or not they can pull it off, yeah. Let's write them a letter, huh? Let's start a campaign. All right. All right. G Wolf says, hey, sorry, didn't mean to bring up upcoming topics. No worries, dude. You couldn't possibly know. And of course, I'm joking. I don't really care if you bring them up. All the more on for you. Great, man. I'm glad you're following the movie news and you're contributing here. So that's fantastic. And we're going to have something to talk about shortly. So awesome. Guys, of course, let me know your thoughts right here in the live chat. And also, right down below in the comment section. But before we do that, I think we are, oh yeah, it's commercial time. So guys, give me a moment, take a little bit of a break here. I'm working on a new commercial, but it's taken a while to make, so of course we got reruns here. So bear with me, chat amongst yourselves, watch this sponsor here for our latest commercial.
Y'all be going on vacation? See, the thing is, if you about to be up out this biatch, check it. Peep Delta. We be flying all over this bitch. Let me ask you something. You finna raise up and get your travel on? From the interior to the exterior. You got to get your posterior in one of these big-ass planes. Dog, you lay in the cut straight sitting on your ass and getting your drink on and your snack on while we floss and fly this mofo all over this bitch. East Coast, West Coast, it don't matter. Nia will get you to your hoe and back lickety-split. No Then you be back at your crib chilling with a flat spliff, thinking we was some crazy-ass angel. Hell, these fat, round, thick-ass vessels run up in the sky so deep, it be crying. Yeah, you thought it was rain. So bring a towel, because at Delta, it's laid out like that. Call one of these fly-ass Delta coochies, and make all them punk-ass co-workers of yours catch the vapors as you be off and up out. You going? We fly you there. You been? We done already flew up in there. We got you covered like a Jimmy hat. At Delta, we love us some flying, and it be shown like a mother...
Okay, thanks to our sponsors right there for the latest in air travel. Okay, guys, this one is coming to us from IndieWire. And this is big news for me anyhow. Christopher Nolan will have Tenet ready to open July 17th unless theaters are closed. Now, I think G-Wolf, this is going to tie in right into the comment you preempted me on, so no worries, bro. Warner's is eager to get Nolan's tentpole into global theaters, even if they're half full, at the height of summer when demand could be high. Oh. Nolan is renowned for his passionate support of the theatrical experience and the symbolism of being the last blockbuster standing, if not the only new film in theaters. If and when theaters reopen this summer is symbolically powerful. Financially, that's anyone's guess. While the film is hotly anticipated, and this is referring to Tenet, it also cost over $200 million. And would need the support of theaters around the world, especially if social distancing rules reduce per-screening attendance. Now, that's an interesting point to mention because this film, costing over $200 million, we all know the movie math, right? A film has to gross, in terms of box office returns, 3 times its budget to be in the black, beyond the red. So over $600 million, ideally $700, $800 million would firmly root it into being a profit for the studios. While the studio has revamped much of its release schedule due to pandemic theater closings, Tenet is still locked on its original release date. Oh, stubborn as ever, Mr. Nolan. Quote, theaters are back, and that is what we offer that is different from the home viewing experience. Who said that? I highlighted it. I don't know who said it, though. All right, somebody said it, so all right, we'll go with that. Now, here are some other awesome things to mention here. This is regarding Tenet. Tenet is go big or go home. It's expected to have a 70mm, 35mm IMAX, as well as standard digital presentation. Its thriller action plot has been kept under wraps, but its time travel, spy element, and war themes, as well as its massive location shoots around the world, suggests the scope of a film maximized by the theatrical experience. Throw in what appears to be a typically epic Nolan story, and it ticks all the wow boxes that could herald the theater's return. Yeah, interesting article here, guys. Of course, I suggest you read it if you want the nitty gritty on it. But I think kind of the through line here is this. Theaters are shut down nationwide, for the most part worldwide. Exhibitors are hesitant to come back into business because, for one, provided that the federal government has theaters still on lockdown, our CDC is still advising people to shelter in place, stay at home. Even if theaters were to open up again, studios are not releasing any of their newest films. So what are they going to show besides previously released films? So on the one hand, yeah, they may have the green light to be open, like in Georgia this week, but they've got nothing new to show. So that, combined with a population who is reticent to go out in public, especially to watch something they could see at home already, that's not new. What incentive is there for a theater chain to open early? So I think the cool thing about this article is that, hey, you know what? We're looking at projections for, when the public can go back in the open spaces. Tenet will be a fantastic blockbuster film to kind of kick off theaters opening again, alongside Mulan, G-Wolf. I think that wasn't mentioned in this article, maybe another article. So we've got these big blockbuster films holding on to their release dates, and I think, provided everything is safe for all of us to go out in public, I think that'd be a great way to kick off the summer. What do you guys think? I'm excited. Like I said before, if the theater opened right now and they were playing Back to the Future, I'd be there. I love the experience. I'd be safe about it, but yeah, I think I've had enough of this shelter in place situation, for lack of a better word. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys, down in the comments below, of course, in the live chat over yonder. Let's see what we got happening here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I ain't got nothing. All right, cool. So let's go into it, guys. We got two more topics here. Let's close out with our second to the last topic, and this one is going to be coming to us again from the fine folk at IndieWire. Oh, wait, you know what? Boom, let me go back, because I think we got a comment here from Mr. G-Wolf. He just had to type it out. 6, 7, and where'd my 8th topic go? Sorry, guys, technical difficulties. Bear with me for one moment. There we are. No, that ain't right either. 6, 7. Okay. Boom. Is that correct? I don't know what in the hell is going on. All right. Mr. G Wolf says, even if they are open, they will be half empty, and that's going to be hard to recoup a $200 million movie. Yeah. I bet they will wait and see how the box office returns are for lower budget movies first. Yeah, dude, it's interesting. At least you're not wrong in your assumption. I think probably if I were to play it conservatively, yeah, I'd go with you as well. I think right now they're kind of looking at the situation through rose-tinted glasses, hoping for that July release date and everything will subside by then, but it's hard to say, and it really does depend on what the public feels comfortable with doing. If they can't fill up those auditorium spaces, it doesn't matter how big of a blockbuster this film is. People aren't going to see it. It may be worth delaying it. So, yeah, interesting though. So, as far as lower budget films being released first, right, to test the waters, as it were, I haven't heard any news on that. Have you guys heard anything about smaller studios like an A24 or Fox Searchlight or Searchlight Pictures now releasing their lower budget films just to kind of test the waters? I haven't heard anything yet. I'd be curious to know. Yeah, interesting. How are you feeling about that, G-Wolf? Personally, I know you've been sheltered in place for a good while. Paul, how are you feeling, bro? Are you ready to go watch the movies? Like, if they open today? Am I just crazy? What are your guys' thoughts on that? I'm ready to go. Okay. So let's see what else we got here in the chat. Paul, I happen to see your comment here, despite it not being highlighted. He says, come on, DJ. You're still a newlywed. There has to be something. What happened to my voice there? There has to be something to keep you busy. Let's see what the wife here says before I open my mouth too much. Yes, we're busy. We're keeping it busy. So busy that I wish we could be more prepared for this broadcast. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. But definitely, we're keeping it busy, if you know what I mean. Paul is not ready to go back to theaters. Duly noted, sir. I'm not going to say you're wrong. I totally understand, man. I'm ready to go, however. So, yeah, interesting, though, because not everyone feels the same way. So, theaters and studios will have to temper their expectations based upon how the public feels. That's first and foremost. G-Wolf also says, I've heard of no new theater releases. It's still a waiting game. So, yeah. All right, so at least I'm correct in that. Yeah, I wish we could test the waters, like you said, dude. So, yeah, it may be a long wait for us here, guys. So, hopefully we can see Tenet in July. Because you know what? Guess what? Dude, I think, Mulan, we should have seen in March already, March 20th. No Time to Die. Wasn't that sometime this month? It was supposed to come out. And then there was something else. Oh, dude, Black Widow. May 10th. I mean, these are 3 freaking huge films I was so excited to see. I'm sure we all were excited to see, and now they've been pushed back. So, yeah. Paul also says, and my theater is a Cinemark. Haven't been to Cinemark. That's not the same one that Campia talks about, right? The one that, like, he really hates in Canada that's, like, price gouging the people there. Is it Cinemark? I don't know. But it rings a bell. Okay, so Cinemark. Got you, Paul. Okay, for sure, man. Let me know on that, dude. Guys, let's... Paul says no. That's not the same one. Okay, it was Cine something. Cine World. I don't know. Anyhow, it's Canadian. Irrelevant. Okay. Let's move into our second to the last topic, guys. And this one is regarding Florence Pugh, apparently. Florence Pugh will unravel again as a star of Olivia Wilde's upcoming Don't Worry, Darling. Pugh and Shia LaBeouf are set to lead Wilde's Booksmart follow-up, also starring Chris Pine. Cool, we've got a star-studded cast here for what seems to be an up-and-coming actor-turned-director, being Olivia Wilde, in her feature-length film titled Don't Worry, Darling, starring Shia LaBeouf and Chris Pine. All right, let's see what's happening here with that. On the heels of a banner year with Midsommar and an Oscar nomination for Little Women, Florence Pugh is back and ready for another psychological breakdown on the big screen. It's just been announced via Deadline that director Olivia Wilde's follow-up to Booksmart, Don't Worry Darling, will star Pugh alongside Shia LaBeouf, Chris Pine, and Olivia Wilde. This warmly welcomed casting news amid a halted Hollywood that's seen in recent months deals trickle like a leaky faucet. Yeah, definitely. Trickling like a leaky faucet indeed. Hence the 8 articles we only have to cover for today. The film is a psychological thriller set in a utopian desert community circa the 1950s. Details remain scarce, but the description alone should be enough to drum up fans of Midsommar, also a psychological thriller about a utopian community gone mad. All right, a little bit of news there, guys. Despite the fact we don't have much in the production pipeline for Hollywood at the moment, everything has been put on hold. It's always worth mentioning projects that have been greenlit and projects that have been greenlit by competent directors and actors attached to it. So I'm excited to see this. I love everyone involved in the project. Did you guys see Midsommar? Did you see Little Women? Did you like Honey Boy? Do you like these actors? How are you feeling about this? I'm excited. Got me nips nice and tight. Yeah, looking good. A little bit of good news here. So, yeah, let's turn it to you guys here in the live chat, and also leave me your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's see. Okay, yeah, G Wolf here is following up saying Mulan is also saying a July 24th release as well. Yeah, pushed back from the 20th of March, I think, dude. So hopefully that remains the same. We're in April 25th? May, June, July. That's 3 months away. I would pray that that would be enough time for us to get back into theaters. So that's a long time, man. Hopefully that remains the same. All right. Paul in Long Beach says, since Sony delayed Spider-Man 3, they forced Marvel to push back Doctor Strange 2. Ooh, thoughts? Yikes. On bikes. You know what, Paul, dude, I'm just thinking off the cuff here. As a fan, of course, right? As fans, like we want to see something as soon as possible. But I think my MO is, and okay, let me preface this with this. I'm a big Final Fantasy VII fan. Huge. Since it came out in 98, 99? And I've been waiting over 20 years for this remake. There's been a lot of talk about Final Fantasy being remade for that whole 20-year period. And, as I would read the headlines and hear about the possibility of it happening, my opinion throughout those 20 years' time was, however long you need to take to make it right and make it perfect and make it the way we want it, the fans want it, the way the fans deserve it, the way the audience deserves it. Take as long as you need. So, with that question you posed to me, if the studios, if the people involved in production feel that is the best thing to do to enhance the product, even if it means for us waiting longer and it being pushed back once, twice, ad infinitum, I think all the better. As long as the end result is a high quality piece of material for us to consume and watch for the rest of our lives, I think it's all the better, man. Right? I mean, you don't want to rush it out and then be disappointed with it, and never return to it. How do you feel about that? Because I know certain people have different opinions than me, so I'm curious about yours, man. That's my thoughts on it. All right. G-Wolf says, and I saw it in my periphery vision, Shia LaBeouf acting? What is this timeline? G-Wolf, what timeline have you been living in, bruh? Shia LaBeouf acting, yeah. I love this guy since, I don't like Disney series or films, but I loved him in, was it Even Stevens? Great. I thought he was great in iRobot, great in Indiana Jones. I thought he was one of the best parts of that film. Loved him in Honey Boy. Good God. Definitely Oscar-worthy performance. He kind of went a little crazy before that, but I think I appreciated his artistic integrity with his whole art show in person in LA, if you guys remember that, where he said, I'm not famous, and he put a bag over his head and stood in the room for 12 hours straight and let people walk in and take pictures and all that. It was a meta commentary on fame and all that. But I think the guy's got some acting chops. Oh, and the Peanut Butter Falcon. Great. Fantastic. Awesome. So yeah, that's the timeline I be living in, G-Wolf. What timeline you be living in, man? I think he's great. I love it. Thanks for the thoughts there, though, man. All right, guys, we are on the last topic, and I think we're going to be able to pull this into our 1 hour typical broadcast. So without further ado, let's go into our 8th and final topic, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This one will be coming to us, and this is more sad news, from The Hollywood Reporter. Oh boy, hold on, let me take a sip of some Jim Crow here. Cheers, Gary. AMC theaters won't reopen until there is a new studio product. So this is kind of wrapping up everything we've been talking about here in the chat, guys, on the broadcast. So let's close it out here with a downer. A number of states led by Republican governors are giving businesses the okay to flip on the lights as early as next week, including cinemas. AMC theaters on Friday said it won't open its 630 plus US locations until there is new Hollywood product to roll out. I think that's the biggest important part of the article, and that's why I highlighted it in red. The first summer studio film currently on the books is Christopher Nolan's Tenet on July 17th, followed by Mulan a week later on July 24th. Right at you, G-Wolf. The company's comment comes several days after the National Association of Theater Owners, also known as NATO, not the North American Treaty Organization, whatever it was we were taught about in civics class, speaking on behalf of AMC and other circuits, cautioned that cinemas won't be flipping on the lights right away, even if some states are rushing to lift shelter-in-place orders instituted due to the novel coronavirus pandemic. Now, this is a quote from AMC. It says, "As we plan our reopening, the health and safety of our guests and associates is our absolute highest priority. To be able to reopen, we also need a line of sight into a regular schedule of new theatrical blockbusters that get people truly excited about returning to their favorite movie theaters. Those blockbusters are scheduled to return this summer, beginning with Warner Brothers' Tenet and Disney's Mulan, with many more major titles rescheduled immediately thereafter," AMC said this Friday in a statement. And they also continue. "While we expect to open our theaters in the weeks ahead of these new blockbusters, utilizing creative programming of immensely popular, previously released films, we would be wise to do so only directly in advance of the release of major new movie titles." So that's from the horse's mouth themselves. They want to make sure your health and the public health is of the utmost priority. But honestly, I think the through line, reading in between the lines there, was, listen, we ain't opening the damn theaters until we get some new films released by the studios. Bottom line, really, it's all about the money, right? So provided we get the films from the studios, provided the public is willing and ready to go out to theaters, we ain't opening. Even if the governors of any respective state says, hey, come on, open up your business. Let's watch some films. The majority of the country's 5,500 plus movie theaters have been shuttered since March 20th, while Hollywood studios quickly pulled their movies from spring and early summer calendars. More than 150 cinemas workers have been laid off or furloughed, while all of AMC's corporate staff, including CEO Adam Aron, have been furloughed on a staggered basis. AMC has been particularly hard hit because of the debt load heading into this pandemic. And as we covered in the last broadcast last week, this article does continue to confirm. Earlier this month, the company announced a $500 million debt offering in a move designed to avert having to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Now, really cool point here to mention, because I'm feeling like, damn, I should have bought some stock, because I knew, anybody with a brain knew, me and Jim Boyers knew, AMC ain't going nowhere, man. If you're betting against AMC, you're a moron. Tune into last week's broadcast to see your thoughts on that. But really interesting end to the article here. It says, on Monday, the same Wall Street analyst, Eric Wilde of B. Riley FBR, upgraded his rating on the company stock from sell to neutral, saying that he was, quote, increasingly confident the company can avoid bankruptcy during the shutdown. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord Jesus. Oh, baby Jesus, black baby Jesus. Thank you. We all knew AMC wasn't going nowhere. They would find a way to survive. Whether they had to restructure, even if they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, they would still remain in some form, in some capacity operating. But great to see that at least the creditors, the analysts, have upgraded their rating on the company after the news of their $500 million debt offering to carry them through their cash reserves on hand, which I think in total, AMC has stated that they have enough cash and loans to carry them through the end of summer or into the beginning of fall. without any additional revenue coming in. So, yeah. Guys, let me know your thoughts on this article here. How would you feel about AMC? I think we covered it, how you would feel about AMC opening now. But what do you think about AMC's decision not to reopen until there's some new studio products? All right, let's move here to the live chat. Paul in Long Beach says, my name. That's it. That's all I got. My name highlighted. Thanks, Paul. G Wolf says, there won't be any new movies unless the cinemas open up, and they won't open up until there's yeah. What a catch-22, huh? That's a riddle for the 2020s. There won't be no movies until... It's like Fat Bastard saying, I'm fat because I eat, and I eat because I'm fat, or something like that, right? I'm sad because I'm fat, and I eat because I'm sad, or something like that. Yeah, you get it. But, yeah, typical catch-22 there, man. Paul in Long Beach says, go up one chat. Okay, let me go up. Boom. Gotcha. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it, brother. All right, Paul in Long Beach says, have we tried gamma rays? Uh-oh. I hear that makes the body change very strongly, very powerfully. And what about the bite of a radioactive spider? Look, I'm not a doctor. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Dude, Paul, are you quoting Trump? Is that a Trump quote from the last coronavirus task force broadcast? Yeah, dude. You know what? I think there is a nuclear power plant somewhere in Southern California. Actually, yeah, near Camp Pendleton. I might make a drive down there and just jump in between them circular-looking titties, and see if I can get any powers here. Might work. Maybe it won't. I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah. Guys, I think that is about a wrap for us here. We kept it nice and tight for this whole hour here. We only got 8 topics, but we got a viewer letter. We covered your questions, your comments in the live chat. And guys, I don't think I opened up with a broadcast here, but seriously, Paul in Long Beach, G Wolf, Digital Nomad Sage, Brian Hepburn, everyone else tuning into the broadcast right now or in the weeks past. Seriously, dude, you guys make this what it is. This would be so boring if it was just me talking to myself. And trust me, I've been there. And I will be there, actually, this weekend. I'm going to be reviewing Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex 2045, which released on the 24th of April on Netflix. 12 episodes, brand new Ghost in the Shell. I'm loving it so far, so I'm reviewing it. It'll be up hopefully Sunday night. I might do Extraction as well, but definitely Ghost in the Shell. Anyhow, my whole point of this tangent was that you guys are what makes this awesome. So I really do genuinely appreciate all of you coming here, chatting with me, chatting with Tiffany, chatting with each other, and building out this small little community here. So seriously, guys, thank you all so much. Love talking with you. I hope to see you next week, Saturday. Seems like 12 noon is going to be the broadcast time right now. So make sure, of course, follow me on Instagram, at MoviePOP Official, on Twitter, at Real MoviePOP. If you want to find my personal Instagram, it's at Peace Out Premiere. I'd be happy to accept your personal friend requests there. And of course, make sure to, engage throughout the week. And yeah, hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Be safe. Have some fun, of course. And yeah, we'll see you next weekend, guys. Thank you all so much. Take care.